How did this deal go down so wrong? What happened?
Well, first of all, Rachel had no training, background, or experience.
And they didn't give her any. So,
Absolutely not. And she was recruited the middle of April, and she was sent out to do this deal the first week in May. So she'd only been with the police department for 3 weeks. She had never done a deal for them, and typically they start off doing small deals. Instead, they gave her $13,000 in cash. They told her to buy 1,500 ecstasy pills, 1.5 ounces of cocaine. Those aren't drugs that Rachel was ever involved in. Rachel smoked marijuana.
Yeah.
And to escalate the charges against the targets, the 2 men who killed her, they said, get them to buy a gun, and that way we can escalate the charges. And as a result, she was shot to death 5 times and thrown in a ditch 50 miles away with the gun that the police wanted her to buy.
The men who did this were eventually convicted of her murder, sentenced to life in prison. And Irv, you also won a $2.8 million civil suit against the city of Tallahassee and a formal apology. Is that justice for you?
Not really.
Yeah.
There really isn't any justice. The 2 men who killed Rachel are certainly in jail, but how about the police officer, Ryan Pender?
To put her in this position. Well, where is he? Where is Ryan?
Ryan Pender was fired from his job, but then went through mediation and got his job back. Basically, the Tallahassee Police Department agreed with him, saying that there were no policies and police procedures. Police just wing it. They do whatever they want to do.
So it's okay, whatever happens.
They're above the law. They didn't have any rules to follow, and that's what Ryan Pender did. He's back working for the Tallahassee Police Department.
Well, in my opinion, they did fire him. They put on a big dog and pony show press conference about it. And then they rehired him before the civil suit got started, because the last thing they wanted was a fired, disgruntled police officer who would not testify favorably for the Tallahassee Police Department. And he was very adamant that he did nothing wrong and it was all Rachel's fault. And so I think they rehired him because they didn't want to have an adverse witness.
Yeah. It's mind-boggling to me.
It's mind-boggling because they blamed Rachel for her own death, and nobody loved life more than Rachel. Rachel thought this was some kind of a police show, Law and Order or something like that. She didn't know what she was walking into. And once you put a gun into the mix, it's a totally different ball game. And that was the gun that ultimately killed her.